Bonjour les Yanine, c'est la troisième leçon de la semaine. Écrivez la date et le titre. N'oubliez pas de souligner avec une règle. Le titre, c'est « Je suis allé à un festival ». I went to a festival. Ok, on continue cette semaine à mettre à jour notre playlist de chansons. Aujourd'hui, je vous recommande des chansons bilingues. Bilingue, ça veut dire qu'il y a deux langues. Bilingual means that there are two languages. Some artists choose to combine French and English in their songs. So the songs that you can see on the screen have lyrics in English and French. Alors, je recommande Gavin James avec Philippine. The song is called Always. Je recommande aussi Divaphone avec Léa Pachi, Get Up. Another one that you may have heard of is Christine and the Queens. She is French, but she lived in London for many years and she loves English language. So she has written songs that she's actually translated or created an English version of. For example, she's got a song called Christine in French, and she created an English version called Tilted. And if you listen to it, I'm sure you'll recognize it. It was on the radio a couple of years ago in England. The lyrics of Tilted do not match word for word the lyrics of Christine, okay? It's an adaptation. It's not quite exactly the same. Elle a aussi créé la chanson La Marcheuse, okay? She created the song La Marcheuse and she created English version of it. Again, the lyrics don't exactly match the lyrics of the French version. So have a listen and let me know what you think. And finally, Amir, he's written the song J'ai cherché and he uses English in this song. I hope you like them. Make sure you add them to your playlist and let me know which one is your favorite. Ok, les objectifs sont les mêmes que dans les leçons précédentes. On continue de parler de festival. On va réutiliser le passé composé et l'imparfait. Et on va écrire un paragraphe en utilisant tout ça. Premièrement, copier le vocabulaire qui est en bleu et trouver le vocabulaire équivalent en français dans le texte. So copy all the phrases that you see in the blue box and to find the French phrase, the French equivalent for it, you need to look at the text in the purple box. This is where you can find the answer. Read the text twice to fully understand it, and then I think you'll be able to work out which phrases are the translation of the blue phrases. When you're done, translate the text into English if you've got time. C'est parti. Pause the video now. Ok, on corrige. Alors, in July is en juillet. Last year is l'année dernière. We've learnt it in the previous lesson. Last weekend, le week-end dernier. Great, génial. Unbelievable, incroyable. Free, gratuit. A concert, un concert. That was a cocknut. A firework, un feu d'artifice. A lot of people, beaucoup de monde. Okay. I'm just going to read the text so that you can see how to pronounce the words. Okay. I want you to follow what I'm reading as I'm reading it, because this is the best way to improve your listening skills. C'est parti. Je suis allée à un concert l'année dernière, en juillet, et c'était incroyable, car il y avait un feu d'artifice. Par contre, le week-end dernier, on est allé à un festival, et c'était vraiment nul, puisque ce n'était pas gratuit, et en plus, il y avait beaucoup de monde. C'était loin d'être génial. Okay. I'm going to translate the text now in case you've done the extension. So this was, I went to a concert last year in July, and it was incredible because there was a firework. On the contrary, last weekend, we went to a festival and it was really rubbish since it wasn't for free. And in addition, there was a lot of people. It was far from being great. It was not great at all, basically. Okay. Maintenant, remember, we've learned both past tenses in the previous lesson. And remember, we've learned the conditional last week. Remember that in any writing, you need to use a variety of tenses. And this is what we are going to do in our next activity. But first of all, before you do your writing activity, I just wanted to mention a few French festivals that are very famous in France and that you may have heard of. Premièrement, les Vieilles Charrues. That was in our activity in the first lesson this week. Les Vieilles Charrues, c'est un festival qui se passe en Bretagne. It's a festival that takes place in Brittany. Brittany is on the west side of France. As you cross the channel, you end up in Brittany. Then you've got Les Francopholies de La Rochelle. La Rochelle is a city on the west coast of France. Les Francopholies is a very famous festival. Les Eurockéennes de Belfort. It's on the east side of France. Big festival. Le Printemps de Bourges. That's in the center of France, near Paris. Et Solidays. Solidays, c'est à Paris. Solidays is a festival that raises money to fight AIDS. Okay. So, the writing task. You need to write a paragraph, about 100 words, and you need to write about a French festival that you went to. I know that it's unlikely you've been to a French festival, so make it up, okay? Mention when and where you went, who you went with, for how long, activities you did, etc. As much detail as possible. Criteria for success. You need to show in any writing that you know how to use the vocab and the tenses that you've learned in class. So, criteria for success today is use the perfect and the imperfect tenses. Use the vocab learned in class. And as an extra challenge, mention French artists that I've introduced you to and French festivals that I've just mentioned. If you show the examiner that you have awareness of French culture, it will make a little difference to get the very top mark. Try and do that. Help. If you struggle with tenses, you can use the phrases that are in this box. Phrases from an activity that we did in a previous lesson. Okay? And as an extra challenge, add a little paragraph to say what festival you would like to go to. You would like to go to. That means you need to use the conditional. And we learned that last week. I've put an example of how to use the conditional. For example, j'aimerais aller au festival qui s'appelle le Printemps de Bourges parce que je voudrais voir Vianney en concert. Ce serait génial car, etc., etc. As you can see, I've put aimer in the conditional, vouloir in the conditional, and être in the conditional. If you do use the perfect, the imperfect, and the conditional in the same text, it will be very impressive. The more variety of tenses you can use, the better. Once you're done with your writing, check your spelling, check that you've included everything you were supposed to include, and check that your sentences make sense. Okay? For example, you cannot say something like, I went to a festival, it was great because I did not like the artist. It would not make sense. But believe it or not, sometimes I read sentences like this when marking the work. So check that your sentences make sense, okay? Off you go. Pause now. Et voilà, c'est terminé. Nous avons atteint tous les objectifs de la semaine. Maintenant, place au plenary. Try and remember as many phrases as possible. Remember, we've learned these phrases today. Do not look in your book. Try and remember how we say them in French. Just do this in your head. Once you're done, you can check in your book for their translation. Ok, Yonan, j'espère que vous avez aimé les leçons de français. J'espère vraiment que vous allez aimer les chansons que je vous ai recommandées. If you have any suggestions on things that you would like me to introduce you to about French culture, please send me an email. I'll be more than happy to suggest books or films or series that are in French. I absolutely love teaching you about culture, so please let me know if you've got any suggestions. Ok, bon travail les Yonine. N'oubliez pas de poster votre travail. Don't forget to hand in your work. And I wish you a good end of the week. Au revoir.